Okay. Hello, happy Earth Week, and thank you so much for joining the third and final installment of our disposable bag fee webinar series. Our topic today is how to reduce waste at your business. Thank you so much to our interpreter, Alejandro, who is going to be supporting us with the Spanish translation of today's webinar. Before we begin, I will pass it over to him to introduce our language accessibility options.
Great. Thank you very much for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Alejandro Arrieta. I will be your language justice interpreter practitioner in this space. Thank you for having me. I'm going to go ahead and provide instructions in Spanish first, although this will apply to almost all of us. So I'll repeat it in English in just a sec. I just want to avoid going back and forth. So thank you for your patience. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Alejandro Arrieta, muchas gracias por tenerme aquí con ustedes. En este espacio voy a servir como su intérprete y queremos practicar la justicia del lenguaje lo más posible. Van a haber algunas herramientas para hacer esto. Una de ellas es la interpretación simultánea. Entonces, después de que diga todas estas instrucciones en español, lo voy a repetir en inglés y luego de ahí vamos a aprender la interpretación y vamos a comenzar. Cuando encienda la interpretación, van a ver un icono terráqueo en la parte de abajo a mano derecha en su pantalla o quizá en el menú con los tres puntitos que dicen más. Pueden ver un ejemplo de eso en la diapositiva aquí en su pantalla. Asegúrense de seleccionar el idioma que sea mejor para ustedes y si batallan para escuchar en los mensajes de chat, por favor avísenos lo más pronto posible. Voy a repetir esto en inglés y regreso en un momentito al español. All right, thank you for your patience as I shared interpretation instructions in Spanish first. In this space, we do want to practice language justice as much as possible. And the tool to make that happen is simultaneous interpretation because we want everyone to participate in the language of their heart or the language of their preference. You also will select your preference. So if you're not fluently bilingual in both English and Spanish, meaning if your only language or preferred language is English, you also will select your language. On your screen, you can see the slide that has an example of what the icon will look like. You won't see it pop up on your screen yet because we haven't turned on the interpretation. But once we do turn it on, you're going to see a globe icon appear on the bottom right-hand side of your screen in your toolbar or under the three-dot menu that says more. However it pops up for you, make sure you click on interpretation, select English, and let us know if you have any issues hearing us as we go on throughout the presentation. Can we go on to the next slide for the screen sharing, please? I'm going to go back into Spanish and then I'll repeat this in English in just a second. Muy bien, regresando al español aquí, otra herramienta para practicar la justicia del lenguaje, aparte de la interpretación, que es lo que voy a estar hablando, tenemos la traducción, que es en escrito. Tenemos la presentación en inglés, pero también está traducida al español. En la parte de arriba, en su pantalla, deben de ver una opción que quizá dice en inglés screen share o compartir pantallas. Pueden seleccionar eso y van a ver que ahí dice presentación en español. Entonces, si usan el icono de interpretación, me van a escuchar en español y si seleccionan presentación en español, van a estar viendo la presentación en español también. Voy a repetir esto en inglés y de ahí ya vamos a aprender la interpretación y ya vamos a comenzar. All right. So last time coming back into English for some last instructions, another tool to practice language justice is translation. So on top of me interpreting everything that is said verbally, we have also translated the slides for everybody. So you'll see the options at the very top right-hand side of your screen. You're going to see a little drop-down menu, a little square that says screen share. And you can go ahead and click on the one that says English presentation. This will make sure that you can not only listen in English, but also be able to follow along the presentation in English as well. So again, if there are any issues, let us know in the chat so we can help you out. But con eso ya vamos a comenzar. But with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'll pass it over to Natalie to turn on the interpretation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alejandro. I'll be turning on the interpretation right now. So like Alejandro said, If you prefer to listen in English, you can select the English option. And if you prefer to listen in Spanish, you can choose the Español. Okay, let's get started. Hello again. So today we'll be closing out the disposable bag fee webinar series. Excuse me. Let me join the English. Okay, here we are in the English room. So hello, today we'll be closing out the disposable bag fee webinar series with our third and final session, How to Reduce Waste at Your Business. We will cover current zero waste ordinances related to businesses, as well as financial incentives and opportunities to save money while reducing waste. Next slide. I'd like to start today by introducing the Office of Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resiliency, also referred to as CASR. CASR came together as an office in 2020 and has many teams who work on a range of projects, including buildings and homes, zero waste and circular economy, renewable energy and sustainable transportation, green workforce, adaptation and resiliency, and environmental justice. CASR is funded by the Climate Protection Fund, and this unique fund raises about $40 million a year to eliminate greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution, support climate adaptation, and create new jobs. Next slide. This webinar series is presented by the Zero Waste and Circular Economy team, which focuses on waste reduction programming and strategies to advance Denver's circular economy. Some of the programs we work on include the Bring Your Own Bag program, also known as Disposable Bag Fee, Skip the Stuff, Reuse Denver, and Waste No More. Next slide. My name is Natalie Lana, and I am the Disposable Bag Fee Program Administrator. I've been working with retailers and residents to support the implementation and enforcement of the disposable bag fee since March of 2022. I'm also joined today by Circular Economy Specialist Becky Goyton and Certifiably Green Denver Program Administrator Gerardo Aguilera. In the second half of this webinar, Becky and Gerardo will share their initiatives to support businesses to reduce waste and save money. Huge thanks to both of you for joining us today. Next slide. Thank you to everyone who attended our first two webinars, which provided an in-depth look into the disposable bag fee and the ban on plastic bags and foam. Today's webinar will provide a brief review of what we discussed in these previous webinars and additional information on waste reduction. To better understand our audience, we've created a poll that we kindly ask you to complete. Let me see if I can launch this poll. Here we go. Okay, so whether you're here representing a retail store, a restaurant, or a business at the airport, we hope you'll find this information useful to increase your business sustainability and decrease costs. Okay, next slide. For today's agenda, we'll review Denver's current zero waste ordinances related to businesses, including the disposable bag fee, the ban on plastic bags and foam, and Skip the Stuff. The second half of this webinar will include funding opportunities for businesses to reduce waste, such as Reuse Denver and Certifiably Green Denver. Next slide. To review, the disposable bag fee ordinance was enacted July 1st of 2021. It requires that all stores within the city and county of Denver must charge 10 cents for each disposable carryout bag provided to a customer at checkout. The ordinance language is found in Chapter 2, Article 20 of the Denver Revised Municipal Code. Stores must remit 60% of the fees they collect to the city. Seems that someone's off of mute. We could just all make sure we're on mute for just one moment. Thank you. Okay. Stores must remit 60% of the fees they collect to the City and County of Denver on a quarterly basis. Since July of 2021, the disposable bag fee has generated about $5 million and is kept in a special purpose revenue fund. This money is used in a variety of ways, including providing free reusable bags to residents and funding special projects in Denver, such as some of the programs that will be discussed later on in this webinar. Please note that restaurants are exempt from Denver's disposable bag fee and are not required to charge 10 cents for disposable bags given to customers. Next slide. The goal of the disposable bag fee is to encourage customers to bring their own reusable bags when shopping and reduce single-use waste. This ordinance requires all retailers in Denver to charge 10 cents for each disposable bag issued to customers at checkout and remit 60% of their collected fees to the City and County of Denver. The remittance deadlines are always 20 days after the end of each fiscal quarter, unless that happens to fall on a weekend. Please keep these dates in mind for disposable bag fee filings. Quarter 1 filings are due on April 20th. Quarter 2 filings are due on July 20th. Quarter 3 filings are due on October 20th, and Quarter 4 filings are due on January 20th. Retailers can submit disposable bag fee quarterly filing forms online through eBiz or by mail with paper forms. The link to eBiz is included in the bottom right corner of this slide. If you require additional support with filing the disposable bag fee, please check out the recording of the first webinar of this series, Disposable Bag Fee Requirements. This includes an eBiz tutorial as well as an explanation of how to complete the paper form. This recording can be found in our webinar library. Please also feel free to reach out to our team for additional support. Next slide, please. You may be familiar with Colorado's Plastic Pollution Reduction Act. This was passed at the state level and influences all of Colorado's municipalities. There are many parts of this law, but the key goal is to reduce the pollution of long-lasting single-use products. As of January 2023, it required a 10-cent bag fee in all stores in Colorado, similar to the existing bag fee in Denver. Beginning January 1st of this year, 2024, the Plastic Pollution Reduction Act has initiated a statewide ban on plastic carryout bags and expanded polystyrene or foam containers. Denver's disposable bag fee ordinance has been updated to reflect these requirements, and all stores in Denver must follow the requirements put forward by our ordinance. Please note that although restaurants are exempt from charging the disposable bag fee, they are required to comply with the ban on expanded polystyrene or foam containers. Next slide. So why is there a ban on plastic carryout bags and expanded polystyrene containers? These items are intended for single use and immediate disposal, meaning they generate a lot of waste. These items are also made from oil and gas, and they are not readily recyclable or biodegradable. Plastic disposable bags and expanded polystyrene break into tiny particles called microplastics, which pollute Colorado's land and waters for thousands of years and are very harmful to our wildlife and ecosystems. Because of this, the state of Colorado has taken action to prevent future environmental harm by placing a ban on these types of products. Next slide. As of January 1st, 2024, retail stores in Denver may no longer build inventory of plastic carryout bags, and retail food establishments may no longer build inventory of expanded polystyrene or foam containers. If a retail store has inventory of plastic carryout bags purchased prior to 2024, that inventory can be provided to customers until June 1st of 2024 with a fee of 10 cents per bag. After June 1st, 2024, retail stores may no longer provide plastic carryout bags to customers at checkout. Paper disposable bags that are made from 100% recycled material may still be provided to customers. If you continue to offer paper bags, you must still charge 10 cents for each bag and remit 60% of those fees to the city and county of Denver on a quarterly basis. A retail store that continues to provide plastic carryout bags to customers following June 1st of 2024 will be in violation of the disposable bag fee ordinance and may be subject to citations up to $999. Next slide. The Disposable Bag Fee Retailer Guide has free resources for you to print out and utilize in your store. These are meant to support you and your store as you begin to transition away from plastic disposable bags. Next slide. We also have some great resources for restaurants. We collaborated with EcoCycle to create a guide to sustainable serviceware, which includes tips and tricks to help restaurants and other food establishments comply with the ban on expanded polystyrene containers. This guide includes information on how Denver is implementing Colorado's Plastic Pollution Reduction Act, as well as recommendations for restaurants to transition to more sustainable options. Here, you can find a comprehensive guide for all types of food and beverage containers and best practices for sustainable serviceware. We will send this link in the chat so you can learn more. Grab the link right now. And I'll send all of these links as well. Okay, next slide. Another ordinance that relates to restaurants is Skip the Stuff, which was implemented in Denver in January of 2022. This ordinance requires all retail food establishments and delivery platforms to only provide single-use serviceware items upon the request of a customer. In order to comply with Skip the Stuff, retail food establishments must provide signage and employee training to ensure that customers are aware that if they want single-use serviceware such as utensils, straws, or napkins, they have to ask for them. This ordinance is intended to reduce the amount of unnecessary waste from single-use serviceware, and it helps businesses save money by reducing the amount of inventory they give away for free. Next slide. You can find resources such as posters, employee fact sheets, and point-of-sale placards at denvergov.org/skipthestuff. Next slide. Thank you so much for your attention. I really hope this information was helpful. So now it's my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Becky Goyton, Circular Economy Specialist, who will tell you more about our Reuse Denver program and how businesses can save money while reducing single-use waste.
Thanks, Natalie. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. I am going to talk about a couple programs that are actually funded through the Disposable Bag Fee Fund. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about why even focus on reducing waste and reusables. So one stat I want to share is that the food service industry uses nearly 1 trillion pieces of disposable foodware each year. So there are studies that have shown that there's just a better way to deal with this. These reusable products are better for the environment than any other single-use product, no matter the material type. So, there's been a lot of movement with compostable products, aluminum products in food serviceware in the past 5 to 10 years. But if you're comparing those versus reusables, reusables are always going to be the better option for the environment, whether that's with water use or climate or even energy use. There was a study done in California that actually has inspired a lot of our work here, where they assisted about 150 food establishments with switching to reusables. And in that study, they found that 100% of the time, the businesses saved money, and that on average, the annual savings was anywhere from $3,000 to $22,000, depending on the size of the business and how many disposable items they actually went ahead and replaced with reusables. Next slide, please. So that takes us to Reuse Denver. There is a lot of disposable food serviceware out there in the community. We know a lot of that comes from to-go-ware, and we recognize that as an issue, and we're starting to see solutions to deal with to-go-ware. But first, we wanted to tackle serviceware for on-site dining because there are still a lot of food establishments that offer all of their food for on-site dining in disposable products, or maybe some of it. And so we wanted to really find a way to help those businesses first. It's the low-hanging fruit, a little bit of an easier issue to deal with before we start trying to tackle to-go-ware. The goal of Reuse Denver, which was started in 2023, is to help businesses save money, reduce waste, and actually create a better dining experience for their customers. We wanted to start by transitioning 35 food establishments to reusable serviceware for on-site dining. And we want to make that process as customized and as easy as possible for business owners. I also want to say that this program prioritizes women and minority-owned businesses for participation. And in fact, most of our businesses that have been accepted into the program are part of that demographic. But we encourage anyone who owns a food establishment, offers on-site dining, and has washing capabilities to apply. Next slide, please. So now I just want to share a little bit about how the program works. We are partnering with Diversion Designers, a local firm, to really walk any business owner through the whole program and to make it as easy as possible by providing as much support as they can. So once a business applies for Reuse Denver and is accepted into the program, Diversion Designers will notify you and then meet with you to assess currently how you're using disposable serviceware and which items you want to replace with reusables. Then they'll come up with a purchasing plan that'll identify which reusables you're going to buy. And that plan can include $600 worth of reusable serviceware. And that serviceware should meet your operational needs. And we even want it to go with your aesthetic and what you've already established, kind of the vibe or the look of your business. Eligible purchases under this program are pretty much any type of food serviceware that's going out to the customer, to the table. And so this could be things like glasses, mugs, plates, bowls, utensils, ramekins, condiment and drink dispensers, and even the equipment that you might need to handle reusables, to collect them. So we've funded busing tubs and carts. We could fund a rack for drying reusables because we realize that if you're a business that's never offered any reusable serviceware before, you're going to need that equipment as well just to handle this. Additionally, to kind of just getting you all the supplies you need. And again, I want to make clear that $600 worth, you don't pay for that. It's not like we reimburse you. It's all handled by the city and Diversion Designers. So a participation from a business is really just helping us identify what it is you need. And then we work with any participating business to collect some basic data on what you were spending on disposable products and then what you are spending on reusables so that we can calculate the cost savings once you make the switch. And I do want to point out that all of this is paid for through disposable bag fee funds. So if you're a business remitting those funds quarterly, this is one of the great programs you're helping us fund. And it's under that program that we try to look to find ways that we can eliminate other disposable products besides just disposable bags. Next slide, please. So as I was saying, we collect some minimum data for our participating businesses. And this is just an example. Reuse Denver, our first participant was an ice cream shop called My King's Ice Cream. And we looked at what they were buying originally that was disposable. So here's some of the items, not all of the items. We actually replaced even more than this with them. It's amazing what you can do with those $600. So for example, they were purchasing cold cups at $300 per case at $75 a case. So we found that meant they were spending 25 cents per plastic disposable cold cup. And we went and purchased reusable cups for them And those cups cost $2.17 a piece. So that is a big price difference. But there's also a really big difference in how these cups are handled. The disposable cup, yes, it only costs 25 cents, but that cup is used once, often for a matter of seconds or minutes, and then it's thrown away, recycled, or it makes it out into the community as litter. Whereas a reusable cup, that cup is going to get used, washed, over and over again. And so eventually you're going to use that reusable cup enough times that you're going to offset the cost of it over the disposable. And then you're going to start to see savings because you're not going to be buying more cups over and over again. So that's what the break-even point is. So you'll see on the right side, the break-even point for these cups was 9 uses, meaning if you use that cup 9 times, you've paid for it compared to buying disposables. So these break-even points are sometimes lower or higher for the item. You'll see for things like utensils, they're quick. It's usually 2 to 3 uses. And then some other times, it takes a little longer. But once you hit that break-even point, the idea is you're now saving money because you no longer are having to spend money to replace a disposable item over and over again. Next slide, please. So we are still running Reuse Denver. We've had, I think we're up to 26 participants now, and our goal for this year was 35, and this year, I mean by July. So we still do have some openings. If you are a business owner that offers on-site dining, or you know some business owners that you think might be interested, please send them our way. It's an easy application, and we have frequently asked questions on our website at denvergov.org/reuse Denver. I'm always happy to answer questions about the program as well. So I've included my direct email, and we do hope to continue this program past the original 35 food establishments, and we are working on that solution now. But in the meantime, we'd love to fill those remaining spots. Next slide, please. And the last program I want to talk about that is also funded through the Disposable Bag Fee Fund is reusables at events. This is a program we partner with Certifiably Green Denver on. Last year, we offered mini grants of up to $2,500 to event planners for publicly permitted events. They were able to use that money to hire a reusable cup service provider to offer reusable cups for their event. And just to be clear, this was not money to go out and purchase a reusable cup that event attendees could take home with them. This was about helping events work with a returnable system. We want these cups to be used by attendees and returned and then circulated back into other events once they've been cleaned and sanitized at a commercial wash hub. This program was well received. We had 15 events that were offered mini grants, totaling $21,000 in incentives. And those grants helped us replace or reduce 74,000 disposable cups. So instead of over 74,000 of those disposable cups being out there in the community, we were able to use reusable cups instead. We found that of those 15 events, we had some that had a 95% or higher return rate. So meaning most of their event attendees understood how the program worked. They used the cup and then they returned it so it could be collected, washed, and used again. And our average return rate for all events was 87%. So we'd like to see that go up to at least 90% in 2024. We are working on offering this program again this year. There's going to be a few changes, including it'll also be available to small arts and entertainment venues that can apply to do this. It will include funding for reusable food serviceware as well, and it'll run directly through a contract with a service provider. So if you apply to participate, we won't be sending you money. We'll be just reimbursing the service provider that offers you the service. So hopefully that'll make it a bit easier for everybody. We are still working on getting that contract set up. So please stay tuned for more details. We'll also send out announcements once we're ready to start accepting applications for that program. So thanks so much for your time today. And I'm going to turn it over to Certifiably Green Denver.
Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Gerardo Aguilera, and I'm on the Certified Blue Green Denver team as a program administrator. And I guess we wanted to join the discussion today just because we thought this would be the perfect opportunity to remind the Denver business community of the resources available to you, similar to how Becky mentioned some of the other resources that we might have too. And this way, we hope that you can extend your sustainability efforts into other aspects of your day-to-day business operations. Next slide, please. Oh, actually, we can just back up a little bit. I just want to give you a bit of context on our program. Our mission is to foster a holistic commitment to climate action and resiliency. And our goal is to make your journey towards a more sustainable and eco-friendly business practical and seamless. In that sense, we hope to be your sustainable business consultants first and foremost, and offer you any personalized support so that you can reach your sustainability goals. And potentially, if this is something that might be one of your goals, become a certifiably green Denver business. So amongst our program, we first begin by trying to assess your business and trying to understand where you stand and where you would like to go. We start with an assessment just to understand the context of the business and identify areas for improvement, all based on our criteria. Then we can just plan and support your journey with actionable steps that remove the guesswork from your implementation and try to maximize your savings, whether it be your utility bills or material sourcing, et cetera. And aside from trying to focus on any of those more concrete sustainability measures, we try to connect you with as many different programs or opportunities as we can. So from planning to implementation, we facilitate those connections and resources and other networks that can support you. And we constantly try to connect and collaborate with other agencies in the city and county of Denver, just so we can inform you of all the opportunities that are most relevant to you. And like in this example, we like to make sure that if there are any ordinances or new compliance related measures from the city and county of Denver or from the state, that you're very well aware of them. And finally, we try to get you to earn a certification. So for businesses who would like recognition on their sustainability journey, we offer the guidance towards achieving this Certified Green Denver certification, which we could say that not only elevates your brand, but also signals to your community that you have a deep commitment to environmental stewardship. And this can be both towards your customers, your employees, and any other stakeholders that are in your network. And once you get certified, we love to promote any of our businesses highlighting sustainability achievements, which is, I'd say, essential to our program. And we like to include your business in any of our Certified Green Denver advertising, our publicity efforts. And it's also, we can celebrate your dedication to sustainability and just inform your community of all your contributions, I guess, to a more resilient Denver. And we can go to the next slide. So one of the nice advantages of participating in the Certified Green Denver program is that we do have connections to different programs and rebates or opportunities in the city or other agencies that are not necessarily within the city. So I just wanted to let you know some of the rebates that we might have from the electrification team here at CASR. And they're mainly focused on trying to help you offset some of those costs that might be involved in trying to switch from any other energy source. Say it could be gas, it could be anything else that might not necessarily be electrified, but these rebates can just help you offset some of those costs. For example, there are rebates for our electric heat pumps or dryers, water heaters, rooftop units, mini splits. And from a business perspective, I'd say investment in heat pumps just translates significantly to energy cost savings. So this is something that I am just pretty adamant about advertising, I'd say. On the residential side, we have our home energy rebate program, which targets the owners of single family and small multifamily homes. And this also focuses on residential heat pump installations. And the city also offers rebates to cover the cost and any electrification feasibility reports. These reports can inform you on the cost effectiveness of these heat pumps. So when you make an investment as great as a heat pump, it's important to try to keep in mind those key factors that allow you to know if your decision is worth it in your specific scenario. We also have a building electrification pilot program for those who are trying to seek guidance on the right equipment, or if you are not finding a rebate for equipment that you'd like to pursue installing, this program is for you. This program helps you assess your specific scenario, choose and finance your specific electrification project. And our team can also help you with this process. I think you can go one ahead. There we go. So I love to tell people about our mini grant. Our CGD equity funding really aims to help minority and women-owned small businesses achieve their sustainability projects. And I like to think of it as sustainability shouldn't be a luxury. And I feel like this is really the aim of this kind of thought, that if you would like to pursue sustainability, we'd like to help you in any way possible. And through this program, eligible businesses can receive up to $10,000 in upfront funding, which is pretty different from any other rebate program, which might give you a savings afterwards. This will help you from the beginning. So if you'd like to pursue any sustainability projects that might help your business and also help us achieve our climate action goals, we would love to fund your project. To date, we've given about $600,000 to 80 businesses who each have fostered their own growth and sustainable practices across the city and county of Denver. So we understand that there are time constraints for small business owners. So our team really would like to help you in any way possible to help you either develop a project or support you through the application process. We can also use our criteria as an assessment to try to find opportunities for different sustainability projects. But any way possible, we would love to help you and try to get you some of these fundings. And we can go to the next slide. And applications are now open. They have been open for about a month now. So feel free to visit our website, certifiedbyggreendenver.org, or send us an email, certifiedbyggreendenver@denvergov.org. And if you need any help, we will reach out. Go to the next slide. So aside from the programs that we offer here at Kaiser, we also are well connected with Excel's business services division, which can provide many different types of rebates. And I'll just quickly remind you of some of the opportunities that we could possibly connect you a little bit with our agency partners. And you might be familiar with Excel Energy's efficiency programs, but the first are the business energy assessments. So another category of assessments that can help you identify the best energy assessment for you out of 6 different assessments. So they just remove the guesswork when it comes to finding these assessments. And we streamlined this process as part of your initial assessment in the CGD certification. So we can just help you connect with Excel, and sometimes they can even schedule the assessment within the week. So this is one of the benefits of being connected with Excel's energy or business services division. They also offer a multifamily building efficiency program that aims to help the owners or managers of multifamily buildings increase the efficiency of tenants and increase the comfort when it comes to their individual locations. I think there is one more. Oh, and they also offer the equipment rebates program, which is, I'd say, the cornerstone offerings of Excel when it comes to focusing on energy efficiency. And they also offer business rebates for a variety of energy efficient products, including HVAC systems, any food service equipment, and business lighting. So if you would be interested in this, reach out to the CGD team. We can give you one of our applications just to send off to the representative from Excel and get you one of those assessments. And we can go to the next one. We're also well connected with Denver Water, which offers a range of rebates. And this is specifically just to improve your water efficiency, which could include rebates for water sense toilets, urinals, any commercial laundry equipment, smart irrigation. And these rebates are very much in line with our water efficiency certification criteria. We try to align at least our goals in the certification with the experts, I'd say, at Denver Water. And this can really just help you adopt any water saving practices that benefit you the most through cost saving measures. And we can go to the next one. And that is it. So lastly, I'd just like to mention, we are pretty committed to supporting the Denver business community, not just to help you withstand the constantly changing business environment, but to thrive in the middle of it. So our office focuses not only on climate action, sustainability, but resiliency. So if any of you are interested in any of the offerings mentioned today, please connect with us or reach out to Natalie. We'd like to help you in any way we can. Thank you so much for inviting us, Natalie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gerardo and Becky, for sharing these incredible resources. Really hope that our audience takes advantage of them. Now we would like to take some time for Q&A. So if you have any questions about any of the information presented today, please feel free to send a question through the chat or the Q&A function, or you can raise your hand and we can unmute you. So we'll just give a couple minutes, let you think about all of that information that was just shared. I know it's quite a lot, but we really would love to hear if there's anything else you'd like to know, or if you have any clarifying questions. We'll just give it, maybe 2 minutes here, see if we have any questions.
Asil, I think your microphone is unmuted. So if you have a question, go right ahead.
Yes, I own a to-go restaurant takeout, and we use a lot of, styrofoam, plastic bags, and stuff like that. What am I supposed to do?
I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you. You said you have a restaurant and you have plastic bags.
Takeouts.
Right?
Takeout restaurant. So all my business is takeout.
Yes. So restaurants are exempt from the ban on plastic bags. So restaurants are still able to offer plastic bags for takeout orders.
What about styrofoam?
Styrofoam restaurants are allowed to use their existing inventory that was purchased before January of this year until that inventory is depleted. And then from that point forward, I would recommend checking out the sustainable serviceware guide that we provided through EcoCycle. I sent it in the chat. I'll send it again. But we have alternative options that are, price competitive and more sustainable than styrofoam.
So we have to buy through them, or how?
No, you can purchase whatever you prefer. These are just recommendations on types of items. It doesn't really give like companies or brands that you should be buying from.
Okay.
Thank you for your question.
Do we get any rebate for? Because let's say they are more expensive than their styrofoam. What do we do in this case?
So we don't currently have rebates for sustainable serviceware, but that's a great recommendation, and we can consider, potentially offering more support to restaurants who need to make that transition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We have a question in the chat from Danny. These resources are only for Denver County. I think that these resources can apply to other places, but the equity funding and the specific, funding opportunities are only available to businesses located within the city and county of Denver.
Natalie, I would add that some of Excel's rebate programs, I guess it would depend on the city and if it changes per county, but I think those opportunities are statewide. So if any of those opportunities apply to you, you can possibly reach out to Excel. They'll still help you with any rebates that you might see.
And
Not
as
Denver.
far as incentives for reusables for on-site dining and at events, Boulder County, I know, has some similar programming. Our program's a little different because we offer the technical assistance and actually have diversion designers doing a lot of that legwork for businesses. But Boulder County, some of the towns have just the actual, just the incentive to go ahead and purchase some reusables. We could probably, it's through a program called PACE, and maybe that's a link, Natalie, we can include in the follow-up if you're sending a follow-up email.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now I'm trying to work on sharing this EcoCycle guide. It looks like only City of Denver employees can access that. So I'll be sending that as well as a PDF in the follow-up email. Awesome. Thank you so much for your questions. We'll just give it maybe one more minute. If anyone else wants to jump in with questions, then we can close it out for today. Or if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us over email, and we'll share the contact information as well at the end. Okay, we'll move right on. Okay, so on a parting note, we would like to announce that our team will be hosting multiple events over the next few months to provide free reusable bags to residents to promote the ban on plastic bags. So we'll be tabling in front of grocery stores across the city to encourage folks to bring their reusable bags when shopping, and also to recycle plastic bags and film at participating stores. So we also are offering to collect plastic bags from retail stores that might have remaining plastic bags in their inventory after June 1st. We'd be happy to work with you to collect those and recycle those. We are working with a company called Trex that purchases plastic bags and film from certain grocery stores such as Safeway and Sprouts, and they in turn will recycle those plastic bags into outdoor furniture and composite decking. So these events will be going on through April and to August. We'll be, again, providing reusable bags to residents and retailers, encouraging plastic film recycling, and we'll also have a survey to help us understand the impact of the disposable bag fee and get some community feedback on how we should be spending this fund. So our next event will be Sunday, May 5th, 2024 at Safeway, located at 6460 East Yale Avenue from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you're interested in dropping off your plastic bags for recycling or picking up a reusable bag, we would love to see you there. Next slide. So thank you so much for joining us for our final webinar of our series. If you have any additional questions about our ordinances or our programs, you can please use this contact information provided here. Thanks again. Happy Earth Week, and I hope you have an absolutely lovely evening. Yeah, thanks for joining us. If you have any other questions, we're happy to chat. If not, we're happy to give you back 6 minutes of your day. So thanks, everybody. Thanks so much to Becky and Gerardo for sharing your programs. Thanks so much to Alejandro for the interpretation and Kelsey for sharing the Spanish slides. It looks like we have some folks leaving, so I think we're good to close it out. I'll stay on if anyone has questions, but yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. Thank you so much.